What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Kevgred is back, and today I'm bringing you some disappointing news out of Sony's camp. February is upon us. Sony PlayStation VR 2 is on its way. 3 more weeks until it launches, but is all well in the VR camp of Sony? Well, if you read these articles that I came across late last night, you will figure out there are issues. And so let's go over these 2 articles that I found late last night, sent the internet ablaze from Bloomberg.com. It says Sony slashes PlayStation VR headset output after pre orders disappoint. Wow. So the article goes in and talks about how Sony Group Corporation is reducing projections for their initial launch of its PlayStation VR 2 headset after early pre-orders disappointed, signaling little improvement for the hyped but unproven virtual reality sector. The company halved its forecasts for shipments of the PSVR, which is set to release Feb 22nd. They slashed it to 1 million units. And Sony had previously aimed to have 2 million headsets ready for the launch. Wow. Article goes on to talk about VR, market share, and how VR just isn't here yet, guys. So, what's really going on here in these articles? Well, I think Sony has a very, very, very tough hill to climb. The first issue they had with these PSVR 2 pre-orders, and it looks like they're talking about it here, that the pre-orders were only available on an invitation basis. But then everyone else was able to order. But the problem is you could only pre-order through Sony.com. No Amazon, no Walmart, no Target, no Best Buy. Right there, you're limiting your potential user base. Not everybody knows to go to Sony. Not everybody wants to order from Sony. People have Target cards. They have Best Buy credit. They have Amazon. They want to order there. But Sony did not go that route. That's the first problem that's causing this article to be written. The next big problem is that, guys, this is $550. And if you want one with a game, it's $599. $599, and it's not a standalone headset. You need a PlayStation 5. And look at this. It's $499. So now you're looking at over a G, guys, over $1,000 to get involved in the VR space. And you're like, woo, I'm going to spend $1,000. I can't wait to see what my eyes are going to see when I put on the headset. I can't wait to play Spider-Man, Call of Duty, Ratchet and Clank. That's the third problem. There are no AAA VR games right now for this platform. There are no Ratchet and Clanks. There are no Call of Duty, Spider-Man. There's none of that. The hottest thing that they can hang their hat on right now is Gran Turismo 7, which will be fully playable in VR in PSVR 2. The other problem is that Sony hasn't marketed this, guys. Go look at anything over the last 3 months. Have you seen anything that makes you want to get off your seats to buy a PSVR 2 headset for $500 to $600? I sure haven't. Now, there are 30 to 40 games coming out for this headset. It is stat-wise, spec-wise, one of the best headsets ever produced for its price point. But sometimes that's not enough. You could be best in market and not be best in show. Quest 2 is proving that right now. They're not the best in market, but they are best in show. They are selling way more headsets than PSVR 1, and it looks like PSVR 2. So what can Sony do? They double down on a new headset. They double down on the capital needed to get a new headset off the ground. But why have they not invested in the properties? That's all we need. Give us a Spider-Man. Give us a Ratchet and Clank, and people will go, here's $1,000. Thank you. But it's not happening. The PlayStation 5 shortage didn't help things. The pandemic didn't help things. This should have come out a year ago, but with everything with the supply chain, there's so many things stacked against this headset right now. All that being said, I have one pre-ordered. I'm excited. I'm a VR enthusiast. I'm a VR adopter. I have the PlayStation 1. I have 150 games for it. I've played it hours and hours on end. I just wish Sony knew what they were doing and they would get off their ass and give us better properties. If you're not a VR enthusiast and you looked at the lineup, you're like, oh, kayaking, yay. It's like, no, you need names that are going to hook the casuals. The hardcores are going to only take you so far in this VR space. You need to get to the casuals. So this article goes on to continue and says the PSVR 2 will be no more than an expensive accessory for the PS5, according to Damien Thong, an analyst at Macquarie Capital. He could be right. He could be right. Article says VR headsets have long held the promise of the next growth frontier for computing, hardware, and services, attracting interest from Google and Apple Inc., Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, blah, blah, blah. And then the article ends with the VR era will come. We're just not there yet. Yeah, everyone thought this was the error. Everyone thought PlayStation 1 was the error. You know how many times I've read, all we need is a AAA game. Come on, PSVR, next year, next year. Well, here's the thing. There's only so many Astrobots. There's only so many Resident Evils, that you can make. You need to make them every month, year after year, to get these headsets adapted. People have the money, but they're not going to spend it. If you're not going to give them what they want AAA, yes, AAA full experiences. And so do I. But I like VR. I like where it's headed. I can't wait to get my headset. I'm going to be doing lots of videos, lots of gameplay, lots of unboxings. So, are you excited? Are you surprised on what these articles are saying? I didn't even get into this one, but here's another article from IGN basically saying the same thing, citing the Bloomberg article that I just read here, that it's disappointing. That's disappointing. What do you think, everybody? Not really surprised at this news. Price is too high. We're in a recession. PlayStation 5 shortages. You need a PlayStation 5 to play. You're looking at $1,000 entry level. And for all that, you're getting ports of Quest 2 games, PSVR 1, backwards compatible upgrades. We need consistent pipeline, huge games coming. And until you get that, I don't think you're going to get mass appeal. So let me know what you think, everybody. Bad news on the horizon for PlayStation? Just a blip in the road? Are they holding their cards? They haven't told us much. They haven't marketed it this much. Maybe they're going to drop some bombs in the next 3 weeks and give us the Ratchet and Clank we want. Give us the Spider-Mans we want. All right, everybody. I'm out of here. Talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Out.